Who knew Napa would have to go to Washington to get their wine of the vintage? What? That's right, baby. You're looking at it. Long Shadows. I love this project. Long Shadows Vintners, created by Alan Shoup in 2003. I love the idealistic slant behind this. He put this project together so that the world's greatest winemakers could have a platform to work with Washington grapes to make the best wine they could, right? He gave all these famous winemakers a canvas, be it Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Malbec, etc., and let these guys paint. And then he hired a super talented gentleman by the name of Gilles Nicot to help facilitate all these different artists' visions using this Washington canvas. And the results at start were like, okay, they're kind of feeling this out, right? This whole thing, you jump straight into something like this. And you don't get the best wines in a year or two. You get the best wines in 10 years. You know, when these guys have really figured out the dirt, figured out what to do, they get a feel. They get their hands dirty, they get in the fermenters, they get in the cellars, they see what Washington can do, and that's when you start seeing the really interesting gear. So accordingly, around 2012, 2013, I think the Long Shadows project took another jump in quality and started making some really astounding wines. And then by the time we get to these bad boys, the 2020s, so we're talking 17, 20 years into this project, the wines are spectacular, really remarkable. So let's look at Feather. Funny name, Feather, you know, considering it's Randy Dunn's baby. That Randy Dunn, Dunn Vineyards and Winery, Howe Mountain legend. He was approached by Alan to be one of the members, the founding members or founding winemakers in this project, and asked Randy what he wanted to do. Randy said, what do you think? Cabernet. We're gonna do 100% Cabernet from Washington. And that's what this is, 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. And the deal is sourcing, the sourcing. So several different sites. He does Wahluke Slope, he does Horsehaven Hills, he does the famous Sagemore Vineyard, these super old Cabernet vines in the Sagemore Vineyard there, and Bacchus Vineyard. Really, really great, top-notch sites go into this wine. And then, of course, it gets French oak treatment, 85 or 90% French oak, new for 22 months. Now, the key thing here is, after a while, you start making a wine that starts creeping up on your own gear. You know what I mean? I think that's at the start it gets fun, right? But then guys like Roland and Melka and Randy Dunn and John Duval, they get 15, 20 years in this project and they're like, well, damn, this is getting a little hairy. You know, do I make this wine better than my wine? How does this work? It's a great problem to have and a funny question that's posed. And I would say the 2020 Feather is comparable or as good, or if not, you know, better than some of Randy Dunn's wines. It is a remarkable bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon, exquisitely balanced, classic Washington with that Napa meets Bordeaux mojo, thoroughly ripe fruit, that wonderful herb quality you get, particularly from Sagemore. I get those old Cabernet vines there. They give you that just classic cassis, you know, herby style Cabernet Sauvignon with wonderful complexity and flavors. And you get Randy's signature style, right? Which is there's good structure to this wine. There's a tannic backbone here. Not to the same extent, say, his Howe Mountain Cabernet when it was younger. You know, this is it's more refined. So it's a silky yet powerfully structured tannin profile here. What does that mean? It makes for a really complete, balanced, complex Cabernet Sauvignon. Basically, this wine packs it all in. It has it all. And it has it all at a price that it's pretty crazy. You know, we did some research here. We're looking at how does this wine stack up with all the other, you know, wines from that Wine Advocate reviewed during this pinpoint time, this moment in time, if you will. Now, granted, 2020 was the fire vintage, so a lot of producers did not make wines, and they shouldn't have. But if this wine was made in Napa in 2020, score-wise, it would have been the wine of the vintage. The highest score, higher than any wine from the Napa Valley in 2020 from Wine Advocate. That's kind of a big deal. Not only that, but in Washington, where they did have their issues, but not to the same extent, this would be the number 4 wine of the vintage, behind 2 single vineyard bottlings from Kilsita Creek, and an Upchurch Cabernet that you can't get. That's basically the wine of the vintage, isn't it? If the wines in front of it are 3 to 4 times the price and you can't get them anyway, makes that moot, doesn't it? 98 points from Advocate for this bad boy. Amazing press, Beautiful wine. 96 from Dunnick too, not a one-trick pony. It's got tons of scores out there if you look it up. I won't bore you with all the numbers. But just to let you know that this is one of the finest deals on Cabernet Sauvignon we've encountered this year. And once you know it, 2 or 3 of the top ones we've seen have been from Washington. As I scolded you before earlier when we did that video review on the Substance Jack's Cabernet Sauvignon, you guys need to drink more Washington Cabernet. They're stunning wines, they're reasonably priced, they're beautiful wines, and there's absolutely no reason why this should not be in your cellar. Remarkable value here, incredible wine from the Long Shadows team. Good on them.